Everyone wants the immunization as soon as possible, and we're no different.
As healthcare workers begin lining up for COVID-19 vaccines in BC, teachers and educators will have to wait until the second round of shots before rolling up their own sleeves.
It's like the light at the end of a very long tunnel. We know that it's still going to be a long time before folks that aren't on the very front lines get their immunizations. It's really heartening to see those immunizations going into the arms of individuals, especially healthcare workers who have sacrificed so much during this time.
The province began its vaccine rollout on Tuesday, with a healthcare worker receiving the first dose. According to the province, people working in K-12 education settings and childcare providers are considered a second priority group, meaning they'll have to wait for a second phase of vaccinations to begin in spring 2021.
We're not the healthcare professionals, so we're not stating exactly where teachers need to be in that order, but we do need to be in the priority order. We are frontline workers right now.
The Surrey Teachers Association's first vice president, Julia McRae, says it makes sense where teachers have been placed on the vaccine priority list.
It makes total sense to me that healthcare workers who work with COVID patients and people who work in long-term care should be first in line. Absolutely, that makes sense. Generally, I'd say grouping us together with other frontline workers, such as grocery store workers, fire, police, that makes total sense to me.
But that doesn't mean McRae believes teachers are safe from COVID-19. Earlier this week, the Surrey Teachers Association wrote a letter to Dr. Bonnie Henry explaining school hazards and calling for a mandated mask policy and smaller class sizes.
We're concentrating on Surrey schools, and we think there should be masks mandated.
While waiting for the vaccine, the BC Teachers Federation is also renewing calls for more preventative measures in schools. And in an email, the Ministry of Education said, "We remain committed to working with our education partners as well as public health officials on a continuous review of school guidelines."
We certainly hope there's a recalibration happening at the start of the new year, and that there's a different approach taken.
And a reminder for teachers heading into winter break this weekend.
I just wish them all a really good rest. I mean, unplug, try not to respond to emails, try not to think about all the things you're wanting to do with your kids in the spring, and just have a bit of a time off. You deserve it.
In Burnaby, Miranda Fatour, City News.